Hey everybody, this is Jim from Jim's Coleus Coleus, and as promised, I'm going to be shooting out a video today teaching everybody who's following along, and perhaps you just came across my channel, on how I separate Coleus seeds from the seed stalks. If you've been following along and you've had your seed stalks out, dried out, they should be nice and brittle now and ready to go. So let's get going. Let's get right to it, and we'll find out how best and how easy it is to separate your seeds from the seed stalks, and what I do to store them, and we'll learn some other stuff. So let's get started. All right, so before we get started again, your Coleus seeds should be nice and dried out, brown, wherever you're keeping them, on a plate, tray. Remember, never dry your Coleus seeds out in Ziploc bags because the organic matter will turn to mold. You need these out in the open so they dry out. So what I use is a colander, a sieve, just basically a nice fine colander. Get them at any dollar store, any household supply. Uncoated white paper plates. And the reason why, I'll show you in a few minutes, is when the seeds separate from the organic matter. The organic matter, by nature of the uncoated plate, gets stuck and the seeds roll off very easily. So let's get started. Just take one of your seed stalks. You can cut it in half, you don't have to. I'll throw them in here, right here. Now you don't have to crush these, you don't have to kill yourself. Look, you can see already, without even doing anything, the seeds are already falling out. So you just gently over. Now be careful if you have a number of different Coleus types. You don't want to contaminate them unless you're a homeowner and you don't really care which seeds are which. I organize them, but you just gently, very gently, and you can see there's the organic. Those are the little pods that the seeds are held in, and then you have the stem and so forth. So you don't have to crush it really bad because you want to minimize as much of the organic matter, and you want to just get as much, seed only. So, but there's a lot of seeds in here. There's still a lot of pods that have the seeds in them, so you need to work. But if you have a lot of seed pods, then you have more than enough seeds. You don't have to really kill yourself. So you just kind of gently go around in circles, okay? And as you can see, I got plenty more. And half a seed stalk really yields a lot of seeds. So now you can see what I mean. You can see your seeds. And I just tapped the plate. And you can see a lot of the seeds. And you can see how they roll. And a lot of the seed organic matter gets stuck on the plate, and you have your seeds. So you can see they're nice, dark. They look like poppy seeds. They're very, very small. And that's basically how I do it. And then once I'm finished with my seed stalks, then what I do is I take a Ziploc bag, I mark it, and then I put the seeds in the plastic baggie. You're going to get some organic matter in there, but it's not going to mold up. And you can store your seeds in these Ziploc bags, but keep them in a cool, dry place away from sun. You don't want to keep them in a moist place in front of the sun or anything. And your seeds will last up to 5 years. But I have so many seeds that I can't keep up with them. So, but generally they last about 5 years. So, again, the paper plates, and then I go back to the paper plates when it's time to sow the seeds, and I'll do that video on Christmas Day when Jim's Holiest of Coleus plants his 2020 crop. I plant my seeds every year. I sow my plants on Christmas Day, and I go back to using the paper plates because I'm going to separate the seeds, and as I do on the pods, and I'll show you on that video, but I use the paper plates because it's easy to contrast and see what seeds you have and so forth. So again, uncoated white paper plates, any dollar store will have them. Try not to use the glossy paper plates because again, the organic matter won't stick like it does here, and it's a lot easier to separate. then you can just fold your paper plate up, and it's easier to, as you can see here, get your seeds into your Ziploc baggie. So white paper plates, colander, Ziploc baggies, and properly dried out seed stalks. That's all you need. All right, so that was pretty easy. You have plenty of seeds. If you're a general homeowner, you'll have plenty of seeds to last you. Let's really quick before I close this out, just wanted to revisit my Coleus rootings. As you can see, they're looking pretty good here. Again, change that water every couple of days. It's very important. Gently rinse the roots and change your water. You can see this Jitters Coleus started growing a seed stalk, and it's flowering. So there's no bees around, no insects here to pollinate it, but it'll develop. So there's a couple of my rootings, there's a couple of my little wintered plants. There's a Japanese giant Coleus. And quickly, this is the Saturn. It's doing pretty well here. This is a nice big airy open bay window, gets lots of light. It's going to start to lose its coloring. It is molting. It's losing some leaves, but not as much as this one. This here is the black stockings. This one here has molted tremendously since I brought it inside, but it's still alive. It's fine. Through the course, based on other plants, the mother plant that I had from this, I will lose some stems. I just cut them as I see that they're dead, but a lot of the leaves will molt. I do turn it around, I water it, it gets very dry. That's the problem with overwintering Coleus plants. They like the heat, but they like the humidity. And most homes with the heating systems don't have a high humidity rating, so it kind of works against you, but it's still alive. I keep it watered, I watch it very carefully, make sure I get any dead, very important, get that dead leaves, because it's going to molt. Make sure you get your dead leaves out of your soil. Don't fertilize it. It's not going to grow. It's going to grow a little bit, but it's not going to look good. So don't get discouraged. Keep it alive. And not every Coleus makes it. I'm being honest with you, but I have faith in this one here. It's got a good root system, so just trim little pieces that you see are dead. If there's a branch, and you can tell some of the branches, they fold up, like here. Here's a dead branch. Just cut it off. You'll see dead branches every once in a while. Here, perfect example. Here's a dead branch. And it happens. So I just trim it. Here's another one. It happens, so I just trim them. So, all right, so that is your little side note, little sidetrack there for the overwintering of the Coleus plants. This one's getting a little bit of growth, but slow. And again, the coloration, the Coleus, the colors will start to wash out because you got a limited amount of daylight. The sun is not as intense, but these will do well. These will last through the winter into spring. And again, this window here, lots of light. However, when we start to get into teens, single digits, I hope not, but once we start getting into the really, really cold stuff, and at night, I take these plants away from the window and I bring them in. I put them close to here, and I have the grow light, because it's going to be cold. There's going to be a draft, and the Coleus do not like that. So let your plants utilize the daylight, the sunlight by the windows, but once it starts getting really cold, if there's a draft, bring them away from the windows. These are brand new Andersons, so they're pretty weather tight, but again, at night, when it's cold and breezy out, it does get chilly, so bring them in. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps out a lot. It's very, very easy to separate your Coleus seeds. Any questions or comments, I'll get to you. I get a lot of questions, I get a lot of comments, and I enjoy every one of them. If it goes a couple of days go by and I don't answer, just be patient. Shoot me another question. Shoot me another comment if I don't get back to you in a week. But I always do. I scan through a lot of my videos and see, and I do try to answer everybody. Again, I really appreciate everybody who subscribes. I really appreciate all the kind comments and so forth, and the suggestions. And together we'll all grow some beautiful coleus in 2020. Now we got the seeds going. Stay tuned because I will be shooting a video on when I sow my 2020 crop, which Jim's Holiest of Coleus, that is Christmas Day. So I will shoot the video on Christmas Day when I plant my coleus, and I'll try to post it that day, Christmas Day, or a day or two later. I mean, it is Christmas. I'm sure you're going to be with your families. So stay tuned. I'll try to post a video here and there from now. In the meantime, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and Merry Christmas, and we'll see you soon. Take care from Jim's Holiest of Coleus. Thank you.